I picked a few photographs out for us to look at.
Oh, good. Okay.
Because everybody enjoys laughing about the tweaker shelter. That landed on the moon. Of course, this particular tweaker shelter, when they start to design something, it's always been curious to me is why it has all of these unusual shapes, because it takes an awful lot more technical ability to now you've got to seal this thing to be in a vacuum.
Yep.
Right? And you're not maximizing the space that you have to fit in the rocket. It's a round tube that you're trying to put this thing into.
That's
so to
right.
maximize the space of this, wouldn't you want it to match the container it's going to go into?
Now that's logical. NASA are not logical.
But just before we go to the other part into the tweaker shelter itself, I found this photograph and I was looking at it, and of course the highly unusual little tiny blue marble sitting there instead of a big ball. And I was looking at the lighting, and then I pulled the next two photos later up. And I was looking at it, and of course the highly unusual little tiny blue marble sitting there instead of a big ball. And I was looking at the lighting, and then I pulled the next two photos later up. And what is it doing over here?
Well, that's where they put the spotlight, isn't it?
The light is coming straight down. It's almost vertical on them. Here, you can see the shadow line here coming down.
Yep.
So if you follow that shadow line from there to there up, the sun has got to be up there. And yet, this is showing up in the shadow. If you look right there, it's showing up in the shadow right there. So it's over. It's coming in far enough from where he's standing to come in and across that. It's just one of the most unusual things. And of course, you can see that it is a light.
You've got the stand for the light there, or something there. It shouldn't be there because the sun is so bright it wouldn't necessarily allow that sort of shadow to be on the picture.
Yeah, but it's got to be up this way.
Of course it has, yeah.
And now it's over here. An additional sun is over there. What I'd like to do is cover some of the things that we've gone over before. Because we've covered the lighting shooting up into here where it can't possibly be. we're even getting reflections here and reflections there. Those are direct light reflections coming off. And then you have an additional lighting over here causing even brighter reflections.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We've got to get the surface reflection of the moon dust, we got to get the reflection off of the lunar module. We got all of that in place and properly modeled, we thought, but the image still didn't look quite right. There was some additional light source that was just missing. Turns out we found a clip of videotape that was shot from the other side of the ladder. As he's coming down the ladder from the opposite side, there is a huge glowing bright white light. And as we analyzed that video a little more, we realized it's Neil Armstrong himself. The bright white space suit that he was wearing reflected all that sunlight off of him and back onto Buzz Aldrin. So essentially, Neil Armstrong himself was a light source in that scene.
It makes sense when you look at, the albedo value, which is the amount of light that's reflected into your eye basically from a surface. For the lunar soil is around like 12%, but the suits, because they're like a Teflon coated material, they're around 80 to 90%. And so they're very reflective. It's almost like a mirror, except you can't see something in the reflection, it just reflects the light.
Once we pulled that information in and actually modeled a second astronaut and the light coming off of him, the bounced light was correct. And Buzz Aldrin looked lit properly as it did in that very famous photo taken in 1969.
And reflections under here, up on the bottom side of the leg, but going all the way in the door. Even if they claimed it was coming off the ground, it's going right into the door. The ground's down here, it's coming up. How does it get lit there? How does that get lit there?
Exactly.
This comes out about 4 feet. They're blocking that, and just want people to know how that lighting works. And of course, that band of lighting there.
Yeah.
And then of course we have to mention the fact that it's PLSS is actually right up against the door frame.
Yeah.
And there's 15 inches of console sticking out inside of there that can't possibly be.
That's good. You got plenty of room on your left. You're a little close on the right. Back down a little bit. Back down. That's it. Doing fine. You got it.
Okay, Houston, I'm on the porch.
Roger, Neil. Standing by for your TV.